This is Quasi Mojo from Metalholic magazine, and I am playing the part of Otep today. Sitting here with my bass player, Evil J.
We look alike. They say that about good friends. The longer you're friends, you guys start to look alike.
So
I was hoping I was going to grow blonde hair.
It's good to see you. So thanks for taking the time. I know Otep was hoping to sit in with us, but she's been having some throat problems.
Yeah,
I believe.
yeah. We've been finding this tour out of all tours has had the most rigorous schedule.
Right.
Starting off 14 shows in a row with a day off, and 6, a day off, 6, a day off, and then 18 at the end. And the smoking venue is taking a toll on just having to play and perform that much and that often. So, we're trying to make sure that she can maintain through the rest of this run. So, she was feeling a little tender, and it's better to be cautious than to just tough it through. And then she's feeling better. But I had to do this also the other day in Gallup, New Mexico, and there was a girl who was doing an interview for like a school project. It was her first interview ever.
She was probably totally bummed.
Totally bummed, but nervous and still like, okay, I'm just going to go with it. And then starts asking questions like, so as a singer, people respect you as an artist. How did you do that? And I'm like, well, can I see your questions really quick? And then do it. Maybe I said singer or vocalist or bass player. Like that's kind of what, I can't really answer for her, but I can answer for me.
I know we were originally going to talk to her when you guys hit Houston, and it was sort of the same thing. She's been dealing with sort of the polyp thing.
Yeah.
And so it was too bad for you because that was going to be our writer Eve down there. And she's just a knockout. So you got stuck with my ugly mug.
It's perfect. My fiance will probably appreciate it.
There you go. She bring her dogs along on this one? I know she doesn't go anywhere.
Her kids are always there.
Okay.
And we love those little dogs.
I only wrote a few questions down because A, I was worried about her throat, but also B, I knew that in talking to you guys, as opposed to some other artists, I wasn't going to get just the short clipped answers.
Right. So I have a tendency to have run-on sentences.
That's okay, so that works out well. You guys play mainly in a genre that's metal, but it also likes the labels and the subgenres, and you guys sort of refer to your style and sound as artcore.
Yes.
What does that mean to you guys?
I mean, it came to the conclusion that we don't really take our influences just from one particular genre, and and because of the fact of my musical background, my parents flooded me with music. I actually have a bachelor's degree in performing arts from Berklee College of Music, and I steal from all different types. I like jazz, I like fusion, I like Iron Maiden metal, I like death metal, and it's art is a freedom of expression. And I think that's what our music is it's a freedom of our expression. We're able to express our emotions and our frustrations through it. And, everybody's hardcore or emo core, so we just figured we'd call it artcore. Because we tried to, when I first met her and we first talked, and when I auditioned for the band, the idea of performance art being implemented into the idea of a metal or rock show was one of those ideas that I had, because I went to school thinking I could grow up and be like a pit bass player, play for musicals, which I did when I was in high school and college. And I really enjoyed the theater aspect. And when I talked to her and found out how she was into poetry, I was like, well, we could really, really grow on this and kind of create something unique and different that I don't think too many bands have actually tried to really do. And it keeps things interesting for both of us. We both like the spontaneity of creativity, and normally it's just rigorous. You play this song, you stop, you play this song, you stop, play this song. But here with the interludes and the in-between sections, she gets to do her spoken word, and some nights if she's feeling it, she just goes off on a tangent. We have our cue phrases that'll kind of let us know where we're at, but she'll just go off into the ether and have some fun. And then last night we even got to do that musically with the band. She was back getting prepped to come out, and we started a jam, and she came out, and then we stopped it to let her talk, and first thing she's like, I don't know if you guys realize, but the three of them just made that up right now on stage. Like, the drummer, I looked at him like, give me a groove, and he just threw a groove down, and I'm like, okay, cool, and I started jamming that, and the guitar player. So we do free-form improv on stage, which is fun for us, because our drummer went to Musicians Institute, our guitar player is an MI guy, I went to Berklee, so it keeps you on your toes so that you don't get kind of, I don't want to say bored, but you feel like it's another routine. So, that was the other aspect of the art. And then, it's nice. It's theatrical. We are entertainers, and that's really what we are in the traditional sense. And So yeah, that's why we consider ourselves an hardcore band.
And when when you do tours like this and stuff anyway, I mean, I would think that it gives you some chance to sort of keep things fresh each night.
Yeah.
Instead of just doing, okay, this song.
Yeah,
this one.
absolutely.
Now,
and we even switch around the set too to just feel how does this progress with the audience and stuff. We started the tour with it this way, and then we're like, okay, let's rearrange some songs. So then that throws interludes in different spots. So you have to think of how am I coming out of this song into what, and then how do I go out of that into the next song. And so it keeps it fresh, keeps us on our toes, it keeps us thinking, and it keeps us clear. You know, that's why we're not one of those bands that technically parties all day. You know, there's a reward after a show well done.
Right.
You know, and it's our job to stay on our toes and to stay focused on the most important thing, and that's the show. I mean, if there's 50 kids or 250 or 500 kids, they all paid to come here. They spent their hard-earned money to come and see us. If I don't have a responsible enough behavior to be at the top of my game and play my best, then I don't really deserve this position, I think, as far as how I've seen other musicians and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, it's about integrity in what you're doing and everything. So now, if I remember correctly, you guys have the original drummer and bass player back in the band now?
Well, I'm the original bass player.
I mean, I'm not sorry, guitar player and drummer.
So they came back to do the record,
Right.
and only the record.
Oh, okay.
You know, they pretty much already had their own lives going. It just happened to work out perfectly that Otep and Rob just kind of started to chat right around the time we were going to start doing the record. And, you know, what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, would you want to just check out a song or something? And then it was like, well, technically the drummer and guitar player that we have are our touring guys. So we've never even written with them before. So it was like, okay, well, why not kind of relive? And Moke and Rob were both down, and it was an intense month of just every day in there writing and recording. We got all the music written and recorded in 1 month, but I think it was because of the fact of our history and our past together that it was so easy to click back into it, and it was a lot of fun. And you know, they got to, you know, we've all split and grown and gone in different directions, and they got to see what direction we've been going in, and so I think it really kind of helped work out really well, and if it was with different people, I don't think we would have been able to accomplish what we did in such a short amount of time. So it was cool. It was cool as hell to be able to go back and jam with those guys again and just work it out and see where they're at and where I'm at, and I think we came up with some pretty cool stuff. I'm very happy with the new record.
The new record's great. We'll get to that in a second. Speaking of which, the writing process. I mean, it's primarily you and Otep.
Yes.
How does the process work between the two of you?
A lot of times I mean, she's always pretty much constantly writing. That's the one thing I'm a little bit jealous about with word writers is all you need is a pen, paper, and bam, there it is. With guitars, I can't memorize a riff and remember it 3 days later. I can write one and then I write a different one and I already forgot A. So you have to have some form of recording, which, I mean, when we were doing our first record when we were on Ozfest, I was using the old school tape recorders where it had like the built-in mic and you push play, and I was we had cassette samplers, and I was taping over the holes and recording over them to get riff ideas down. So I would take inspiration from her as far as collecting a bunch of random ideas, or not even random, but just ideas, and then starting to grow off of this one. And so I would come with some riffs and play them for her, and then she goes, oh wow, this one really kind of feels and has a vibe and flow that goes along with this, what I'm saying in this particular one, and then that's where I'll start to grow off of that. And she really helps with the arrangement because of having the lyrics already kind of pre-written out in the idea. It's you know, we work on trying to find a nice comfortable way to blend them both so that there's not an excessive amount of just musical parts where there's no vocals, and then vice versa. There's not just all vocals and there's no musical parts. So you know, it's a balancing act of that. So and she and I have been doing it for so long, and it's pretty natural and a very easy, you know, Smash Control Machine kind of fell onto us that way.
Oh, that was